Hello everyone, this is Just a Dad. Today I'm going to do a review on this coffee maker. Now, I don't really know how to pronounce the name. It's model number EC-DAC50. This was recommended to me by another viewer. I did get it off of Amazon. I did pay around $73. It retails for around $88, but it does go on sale, looks like. So this is only a 5-cup coffee maker. This is a little expensive for a 5-cup coffee maker. And some things right off the bat is the filter basket is kept inside the carafe at all times. So, and what I've read and the other viewers have told me, so if you leave your coffee filter, if it drips continuously into your carafe, it could cause your coffee to get a little bit bitter. So it's always a good idea to kind of take the coffee grounds out, but there's not a really good way of doing that with this coffee maker. You remove it. This lid doesn't really fit, so then you're kind of left with a carafe that's a little awkward to use. The theory is, since it's a 5-cup coffee maker, their thinking is you're going to brew the coffee grounds are going to stay right there, you're going to pour the coffee, and then you'll just use it all up. That way it's not going to be sitting there, because in the manual that they tell you not to leave the coffee maker on for more than 15 minutes to keep the coffee warm. You do have to wait for it to completely finish before you can pour yourself a cup of coffee. There is no like pause brewing or anything. I'll be doing some temperature checks while it's brewing. I thought it kept a pretty decent temperature around 187, 189. I just made a pot of coffee. I'll show you how to make a pot of coffee, but first I want you to see that the filter basket is inside the carafe, and you're supposed to hold this lid on while you pour the coffee. So the coffee from this coffee maker tastes really good. I'm going to show you how it works. Let's take a look at the carafe. It's got this lid on here. There's where the coffee grounds go, and it takes a number 2 cone filter. And then here's what the brew basket looks like. Okay, so here's what the coffee maker looks like. Front to back, you're right around 9 inches. Left to right, you're right around 5 inches. Now height-wise, it does have this cover, and then you could just put the water right in this reservoir here, but you also can remove the reservoir. This is like a steam vent, and it does have, you can do iced coffee or hot coffee. So with the lid on, it's right around 10.5 inches. It does have just one single switch. You're going to turn it on, and then you got to turn it off after you're done brewing coffee, because it's going to keep the warming plate on as long as that switch is on. Again, there's the warming plate. Let's take a look at the carafe. Okay, so it's got this lid here. And again, this is the cone-shaped filter basket that fits down into the carafe. They make you pay special attention to this little hook. They want you to make sure that it's hooked right there, and then when you pour the coffee, they want to make sure you hold this right here, or this lid could come off. Now, you're not going to be able to take the filter basket out and then replace it with this. I guess you could, but it doesn't stay on there. You know, it doesn't hook back on there. So they do want you to keep the filter basket in, pour your coffee. Now, they recommend that you don't leave it on the warming plate more than 15 minutes. So this is where the water comes out, the hot water for the coffee maker. It's got they call it a activated carbon filter in here. So it is a good idea to rinse this out first before you use it. But there's where the hot water comes out. And then to put this back on. Very simple to put on and off. Here's what the bottom looks like. It's got nice rubber feet. Okay, so let's make a pot of coffee. I've got the water reservoir filled up. And we'll put this lid on. This lid's got a place for there's a vent right here. Okay, so you will need to buy some number 2 cone filters, 1 to 4 cup. But they also show you in the manual that you're going to need to fold it. So the way these cone filters work is you open it up, but this one you do need to kind of fold it. They tell you to fold it, the bottom, and then the side 1 time. And it does, when you do that, and then you just kind of hold it, open it, it does fit in there better. If you don't do that, it does kind of stick up kind of high. This is where we're going to put our coffee. It does come with a coffee scoop. And it's a very simple chart in the book, you're going to put 1 scoop per cup you're going to brew. So if you only wanted to brew 3 cups of coffee, you just put 3 tablespoons or 3 scoops. I'm going to brew 5 cups, so I'm going to put 5 scoops. 1, 2. Okay, I've got all 5 scoops in there of just coffee ground at a medium grind. Again, they kind of talk about this lid. Make sure you get it kind of hooked and down. You're going to put it back in here. Okay, so we've got our water, we've got our coffee, and then you're simply just going to turn it on. So it starts brewing right away. We're going to check some temperatures as it's brewing, and then we'll see how hot a cup of coffee we get. There's the water coming out. It's going to go through the filter basket. So I'm just going to try to show you how the coffee grounds are brewing. It's a little tricky to see. Okay, so the hot water coming on top of the coffee grounds is usually around 185, 187, there's 190. So while it's brewing, it does come with a very nice manual. It is 650 watts, but the manual does kind of explain the coffee maker very well. So it's been brewing about 2.5 minutes, and we're still hovering around 191, 192. Okay, so I don't recommend doing this, but I just want to show you there's the coffee grounds that are brewing. It does look like it has even distribution. So it's a relatively quiet coffee maker. Towards the end, it does get a little bit louder. Now you do have to wait for it to completely stop brewing before you take the carafe out. Okay, so you can tell it's getting towards the end. We're right around the 6-minute mark. There is quite a bit of steam coming out this vent now at the top. So I'd say it takes about 6 to 7 minutes for a 5-cup cup of coffee. So let's see how the carafe pours. Again, they got special notes. You got to hold this lid right here when you pour. You know, the carafe pours really nice. And again, it does have a warming plate. It's going to keep the coffee warm. So we end up with about a 174 cup of coffee. That's a very hot cup of coffee. So I've been drinking the cup of coffee out of here for the last couple days. It makes a really good cup of coffee. It smells really good. It tastes really good. I'm not a coffee taste expert by no means, but it does make a very nice cup of coffee. Let's see how the coffee grounds did in the carafe. So again, let's take this lid off, and we can see there's the coffee grounds. Looks like it did a pretty good job. It doesn't overflow. And then that will drip on you just a little bit, but then you can go get rid of the coffee grounds. This is a very nice looking coffee maker. Again, when you're done, you do have to make sure you switch it off. I like that it has a removable reservoir. You can do iced coffee also. You can fill the carafe up with 80% ice, it says, so you'd probably fill it up to about here. And then you wouldn't add as much water. There's different marks on the reservoir. When you want to do iced coffee, you're not going to add as much water. So you'll fill it up to, you'll do a 5-cup carafe of ice, but you're just going to fill it up to there. So I like that this reservoir is removable. That makes cleaning that reservoir very easy. It's got a very small footprint. So for cleanup, they do not want you to put these in the dishwasher. They only want you to wash them by hand. I'm really happy with this purchase. Thanks everybody for watching.